Hello everybody, welcome back to Mike's Country Lawn. It's been a while since I've done a little video, and I thought I'd do a little update on something I mentioned in the first video I did about some pine trees that were no good. They were dead and needed to come out, and so they are now gone. We got them out a couple weeks ago on a Thursday. Today is March 14th. Beautiful day, 50 degrees. Snow is melting. Mostly, it ain't just melting, it's mostly gone. So that's a great thing. So we had 6 trees. 3 right here, close together, and then we had one right here. This one here actually was the tallest of the trees. And then we had the 2 down here that were, of the group we had, they were dead, and they had been dead a couple years already. So they had been dead so long already that the bark had come off the trees. So they needed to go, and just so they didn't cause any problems with the neighbor. I think, like I mentioned before, I didn't want these two. If these two would have fallen, probably wouldn't have been too big of an issue. They would have fallen right into the neighbor's yard, unless they would have hit his shed. But otherwise, there would have been no harm, no foul with those two. But there would have been, I suppose there would have been a possibility of it going that way into he's got like a crabapple tree right there, a real nice tree. But that one, the biggest one, that could have went into his birch, and obviously the other 3 up there could have very easily have gone into, fallen into his house. So a bit of money to get them out, but well worth it to save any problems, big problems. So it was a pretty, so the company had do it. He was out here in October, and we figured that he would need to get into the backyard with his trucks. He could have made it, could have got in from up there through the driveway and between 2 properties. He could have, or he would have been on the neighbor's property. He would have he would have had to bring his trucks in. But the other possibility we had was of him coming into the backyard through this field, through this cornfield, which yeah, a little ways down there is actually it's 2 cornfields. Actually, it's 2 fields. You can't tell from here, but it's 2 fields. And what he was hoping to be able to do was come in the field entrance with his trucks, come down the cornfield, and right into the backyard with his trucks, because he had a couple of trucks, a truck with a boom on it, a bucket, I should say not a boom, but a bucket, a real tall bucket. And to get in here when it was frozen was the best plan, and it worked out real well. And I think he got in here just in time too, because the following day was warmer. Let me back up. The Thursday he got in here, it was cold. It was pretty cold overnight, below freezing. There was still, in fact, the ground is still froze. I think there's still definitely frost in the ground, but it was going to be warm the next day, and then on the Saturday after that we had rain. We actually had quite a bit of rain, so that would have totally stopped us from getting in here. And even right here in our little garden area, you probably can't even see it in the video, but there's some tracks, and it's barely. So that worked out really well. And even up here where they had their trucks and had their stabilizers out, the marks they left in the lawn, it's minimal. You know, you can't hardly tell. There's a few little marks where they had their, like I said, they had their stabilizers down to stabilize the bucket truck, but and right now the lawn's a mess because of the whole winter's worth of branches, kind of. So, but yeah, it worked out really well, and I will give him a free plug if there's anybody here in southern Wisconsin, South Central, anywhere here in this part of the state. Two Guys Trimming in Jefferson, Wisconsin. I've had him out here for a couple other trees we've had a couple years back. He did 4 trees for me in this same line of trees because they're all, unfortunately, they're all kind of petering out, I guess. There's a couple, there's like 6 up there closer to the road. They're actually doing pretty good. They look okay. But some of these here, lower down here on the property line, they're not bad. So hopefully now we'll be good for quite a few years. But he did some trees for me a couple, 2-3 times. We had some trees that got, I think it was 3 pines up there that got blown over. There was nothing wrong with them, but we had some straight line winds that took them over. So he got them out of here, and then a couple of years ago there was 4 more trees that needed to go. They were dead, and same deal. You know, we didn't want them to go either way, on our garage or on the neighbor's house. So he did a fantastic job. Each time he's been here, they've cleaned up, and all the brush. They've just done a really, really good job. So if anybody needs trees cut, Two Guys Trimming, Jefferson, Wisconsin. So that's about it. That was just a little update. We're expecting some pretty decent weather this week. Warm, 50s, maybe even 60, I think, on Wednesday, in the 60s. So that'd be fantastic. There was actually some turkeys out in that cornfield earlier. It's pretty cool to see. Everybody's coming back. Cranes, blackbirds, red-winged blackbirds. The geese are squawking now, so spring is close. So thank you for watching, everybody.